Hello again, this is Prime from Awesome Tech Gaming Pro. Today I'm going to talk about the Sony A95k, which is a qd-oled panel. Qd-oled, which is designed to blend the best qualities of both OLED and QLED, made its debut last year in this Sony A95k. OLED has become the premium TV technology of choice thanks to its perfect black and pixel level contrast control, near perfect viewing angles, super thin designs, and increasingly aggressive pricing. And qd-oled is designed to overcome its main limitation, brightness. If you are therefore expecting the A95k to be vastly brighter than the OLED norm, you might be slightly disappointed. In fact, it's fair to say that the first qd-oled TV isn't a huge leap in quality over the best standard OLED TVs you can currently buy. It is better though, and that makes it a true exceptional TV. Sony has designed the A95k to be as minimalist as possible, with the stand in its default position behind the TV. All you see from the front is the screen surrounded on three sides by a 7 to 8 millimeter bezel, and on bottom by a thicker lid that houses elements such as the IR receiver and far-field microphones, and displays a very subtle Sony logo. In this position, the set has a slight lean backwards that should compensate for it standing lower on your furniture than put a TV with a more typical stand. Alternatively, the stand can be positioned in front of the screen so that the TV can be positioned more or less flat against a wall. To these eyes, that's actually the more striking of the two positioning options, but which will suit you will depend on your room and furniture. Wall mounting is of course also an option, with the stand detaching entirely. A 4.3 centimeter, the A95 is just a smidge thinner than the LG C2 and LG C3, which is 4.5 centimeter, but a fair bit thicker than the LG G2 and G3, both 2.5 centimeter. Because the plastic chassis section at the back covers more of the sets rear than is typical of an OLED, it could possibly be mistaken for a backlit TV with only a small section of OLED super slimness on display. This rear enclosure has a grid pattern that makes the TVs behind a little more interesting than that of most other sets, and plastic panels can be used to hide the connections and cables. Plus, the top of the back panel is an unusual rectangular notch. This is for the bravia camera, which comes with the A95k, and magnetically attaches at this point, peeking over the top edge of the screen. While at launch, the bravia cam only offered video chat functionally. It does not support the promised ambient optimization pro, which adjusts picture and sound based on where you are in the room. Proximity alert, which is designed to prevent children from standing or sitting too close to the TV. Gesture control and auto perceiving mode, which detects when you have left the room and dims the screen. This auto perceiving mode features, some people may find some of these features useful, but I think that most buyers will ignore them. In fact, the mic never bother connecting the camera. I can't help but wonder how much it's added to the A95k's overall price, and rather wish Sony had instead made it an optional extra. If you prefer to interact with your TV the more traditional way, you will be pleased to discover that the A95k comes with a remote that's 36% smaller than last year's Zapper, with a reduction in buttons from 49 to 25. It feels good in the hands, as well spaced, pleasingly clicky, and best of all, backlit buttons. And Sony has even added a neat and genuinely useful finder function that has the remote emit a sound when you say, "Okay, Google, find my remote to the TV." A basic plastic remote is also included in the box. It's rather cheap and nasty with very spongy buttons, but you should rarely, if ever, need to use it. Sony uses Google TV operating system for most of its TVs, including the A95k. Overall, this is a very good platform that's pretty snappy in use here, and puts increasingly intelligent, personalized recommendations front and center, making it very quick to find something new to watch or to jump back into. Unfortunately, the vast majority of recommendations presented are still from Amazon Prime Video and Disney Plus, with just a couple of Apple TV titles and single My TV show thrown in. That Netflix is missing from the recommendation engine is clearly an issue, but it's not one that's exclusive to Google TV or Sony. There is, of course, a Netflix app on the TV, complete with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos support. The aforementioned Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and Apple TV are all present and largely correct, as are all of the major music streaming services. In the UK, you also get Now and BT Sport, and all of the main catch-up services are present both as individual apps and as part of the UView TV platform. There's also a free set tuner or those who want or need to get their live TV service via and satellite. The A95k, of course, also features Sony's own Bravia core service, which delivers blockbuster movies in noticeably higher quality than you get from rival services. On the gaming front, the A95k is very similarly specifications to Sony's 2021 OLEDs, but with one key exception: VRR works right out of the box. On top of that, the 248GB per second HDMI 2.1 ports that support 4K 120 Hz gaming from the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and the latest PC graphics cards. Unfortunately, one of those HDMI 2.1 sockets also handles ER, Enhanced Audio Return Channel. So if you need that for a soundbar or LVDC bar, we'll have just one HDMI 2.1 input left. ARM is supported by the A95k, as is PlayStation 5 specific version called Autogener Picture Mode. There's unfortunately no HDZ setting or a Dolby Vision game mode, but the A95k does support Auto HDR tone mapping, which allows the PlayStation 5 to detect the specific model of TV to which it's connected and automatically select the appropriate HDR tone map. Although I recommend that you manually calibrate anyway, as I found the recommended settings to be just switch off. Input lag, meanwhile, measures 21 milliseconds, which is not as fast as some, but will be completely imperceptible to most gamers. But not, of course, the most exciting feature of the A95k is its qd-oled panel, which Sony has apparently enhanced through the use of a heat diffusion sheet that distributes heat more effectively, and temperature distribution mapping that helps prevent image retention. Sony's cognitive processor XR, which has first introduced in 2021, has a big role to play in terms of getting the most out of the qd-oled panel, with an enhanced version of its flexible color contrast control feature, seemingly designed to make the most of the potential extra vibrancy made available by the new panel technology. There's also a new depth map feature that identifies the enhances near objects while slightly suppressing the background in order to increase depth perception. If you see its picture quality, kicking off with Rogue One in Dolby Vision, the depth and solidity of the image is immediately striking. The Rebel Alliance U-wing ship stands out brilliantly from the desert landscape of Jeddah, while the mountain top city and a Star Destroyer hovering above it are reproduced with exceptional three-dimensionality. This solidity is the result of a combination of factors: excellent sharpness, loads of fine details, brilliant contrast, and in all likelihood, Sony's depth map feature. Of the A95 plus 2 Dolby Vision picture presets, Dolby Vision Dark is best avoided. It's simply too dark. Even in pitch black room with too much detail lost to shadows, Dolby Vision Bright is excellently just go, providing deep, detailed blacks with plenty of contrasting pop. What may surprise you, though, is that the A95 is no brighter than the LG G2 overall. In fact, in many scenes, it's LG's top OLED Evo model that looks brighter. But the A95 qd-oled comes trumps is in the detail and color content within the brightest highlights. The A95 provides a lovely subtle orange warmth that gradually fades towards the center of a sunset, but never truly disappears, whereas the G2 is largely white in the brightest areas. There's more detail and shading to the bright white clouds over scary from the A95k too. This is where the new technology seemingly pays off. It's not brighter than the brightest traditional OLED TV, but it does offer better brightness. Switching to No Time to Die in HDR10, these excellent traits remain, and my attention turns to the A95 plus overall color balance, which is exemplary. It's easy during one of the scenes at the beginning of the film for a TV to exaggerate Daniel Craig's stance so that he looks slightly nuclear, but the Sony falls into no such trap, ensuring he looks healthily varnished but natural, while the scenery retains its glorious orange warmth. A quick hop over the Blade Runner 2049 4K Blu-ray proves that Sony remains the master of motion processing. The company's rivals have made significant progress in this area over the last couple of years, but neither the G2 nor Samsung S95B can match the A95K's combination of complete control over shimmering, tricky, unpredictable motion with a total lack of introduced unrealism. I can't show the movie scene on A95K because of copyright issue, so no, I apologize for that, but I can share the experience. A95K proves to be an excellent performer with the HD content too. There's a punch and dynamism to its recreation of X Machina that's at once thrilling and natural, and upscaling combines sharpness, clarity, and cleanliness in a way that simply looks correct. Colors, meanwhile, are just as well balanced with this HDR film as they are with the HDR content I watch. You simply never question the A95K's delivery, and that's one of the greatest compliments I can pay any TV. It does an admirable job with the standard definition delivery of Guard and Rescue 2, reproducing the vibrant colors of Charlie Dincock's latest design without pushing them to garish levels, and combining crispness and control to a very impressive degree. Daytime TV has rarely looked this good. So while not the new dawn of TV technology that some may have expected, the Sony A95K pushed the OLED game on in terms of both detail and color reproduction in the brightest parts of the picture. Samsung's S95B is more of an all-guns blazing demo of qd-oled's abilities, and for some its exceptional punch and vibrancy will be impossible to ignore. However, Sony's careful authenticity-led approach means the A95K is more balanced and natural, and the fine detail, sharpness, and three-dimensionality of its image are superb. The one thing holding the A95K back is its price, which hasn't come down as much as one might have expected. That you can buy the newer Samsung S95C or LG G3 for less will be a stumbling block for many. And it's worth nothing that Sony's own second-generation qd-OLED model, the A95L. Even so, the A95K remains a TV of rare talent despite its age, and it's a great buy if you can find it at the right price. So what's your thought? Please write in the comments below. But I am very impressed with this Sony A95K. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. I have another channel named Tech Gaming Villa, where I upload similar kind of tech videos. Please visit this channel and subscribe for update. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.
To change up.